You're melting.
Oh. It's just, so many people. It's all a bit overwhelming.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at the glowing popsicles from Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, as you can see, I have a single lightsaber-style chopstick in red, which is indicative of the Sith. Oh, come on, stupid Kyber crystals. How did I come by this lightsaber? Well, it's a good story for another time, because for now we're going to make a few different flavors of popsicles using a few different techniques. First up, fresh raspberry, for which we're going to combine 6 ounces of fresh raspberries with 1.75 ounces of sugar, tiny whisked together with 3/4 of a teaspoon of guar gum, a stabilizer and emulsifier that will help keep the popsicles from separating in the freezer and keep them tender. We're blending that together with 5.5 ounces of water in a blender until smooth but still fruity. Upon taste testing, I decided it was a little bit too sweet, so I'm also going to squeeze in the juice of half a lemon, roughly a tablespoon's worth. Another quick blend to combine, and then we're going to pour these into our popsicle molds, which are definitely not condom shaped. Next up, a sort of no-churn mango sorbet. Into the blender goes 10 ounces of frozen mango that we're going to blend together with 2.5 ounces of sugar, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and 3 ounces of water. Now, if you just blend together fruit, sugar, and water, you might end up with an icy popsicle. So in place of the guar gum, we have a delicious alternative to keep things tender. 2/3 of a cup of cold coconut cream, not cream of coconut, coconut cream. Apparently there's a difference. If it's cold enough, you can whip coconut cream into sort of a whipped coconut cream. But I also found that if you just add it to the blender and let this thing rip on high speed for about a minute, you can see its volume increase before your very eyes. Once things are light and creamy, it's headed into the molds, which are headed into the freezer. Next up, I want to try a popsicle version of a Brazilian limeade that's become popular on social media recently. Into the blender goes 3 small sliced limes, 6 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 9 ounces of ice water. This guy then gets blended on high speed for 15 seconds, no more, otherwise the limeade will become quite bitter. After 15 seconds, it's time to strain out all the citrus particulate. Then normally this is just served over ice, which is quite refreshing, but the sweetened condensed milk should make for nice tender popsicles. Next and last, we have some wild blueberry popsicles. I got 15 ounces of frozen wild blueberries, but domesticated blueberries will do, and then in lieu of just dumping in sugar and water, we're going to first make simple syrup, combining 4 ounces each, water and sugar in a small saucepan, bringing to a simmer and cooking to a state of 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and allowing to cool before adding to the blueberries. I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to shore up the acidity. Blend that to a state of well-blendedness, about 30 seconds, give it a taste for sweetness and or tartness, and pour it into the molds. Then with lids attached and handles affixed, these guys are headed into the freezer for at least 4 hours, ideally overnight. Then we get to taste test. First up, to unmold, just dip these guys in some warm water for about 10 seconds, yank them out, and shove them in your mouth. Now, I didn't film myself tasting this one for some reason, but it's quite good. It has a bit of raw raspberry flavor that you can avoid by straining out the seeds. The mango popsicle is outrageous, extremely soft and tender with a lush tropical flavor. Next up, the Brazilian limeade popsicles, which you might be able to see settled a little bit in the freezer. You can avoid this by using guar gum, but either way, it was delicious. Last up, the wild blueberry popsicles, which tasted like frozen blueberry jam, so really, really good. So we've got some great flavors nailed down. Now, how do we get these guys to glow? My first thought, naturally, were glow sticks. Now, even though most glow sticks are non-toxic, I can't really recommend that you try this on the off chance that it breaks in the freezer and leaches into your pop. But moreover, because the next day when I cracked them on and turned off the lights, their glow was relegated almost entirely to the bendy popsicle handle. This may be novel to small children or pets, but I'm trying to make a really super cool glowing popsicle for grown-ups. So after a bit of research, I discovered that vitamin B12 powder can be used as a food additive to make foods glow under black light, and it's available in a charming array of colors. So after adding precisely 1/4 to 3/8 of a spoonful of this stuff to however much popsicle mix this is, we're blending it at high speed until its electric color is fully incorporated, pouring it into our molds to set overnight, and the next day busting out the black light. Who knew that these would ever have a use outside revealing hand stamps and hotel room stains? So with the black lights on full blast, let's see if it makes our pop glow. And even though it definitely looked more impressive in person, especially when compared to the non-B12 version of the pop, you can see that the black light definitely brings things to life. So while this popsicle might only function at a crime scene or bowling alley birthday party, it is indeed a glowing popsicle. Also, I don't know who got murdered on my table, but I think this episode's now admissible as evidence. But then I realized that I had the answer in front of me all along. My lightsaber chopsticks have removable blades so they can be cleaned, so once frozen inside and reattached to their base, they make for a really actually glowing popsicle. Don't do it, Andy, don't do oh god. I can't exactly figure why, but that's upsetting for some reason. Maybe eat this guy with the lights on. From my point of view, that's evil.